Today we will be discussing the green cocoplum, or also known as the green tip cocoplum. This plant is native to South Florida, or south of Lake Okeechobee. So if you are in South Florida, this plant is native to your landscape, so it's beautiful and low cost for you. So it would be a great addition to your landscape. Now, the green cocoplum is a shrub. It grows to be about 10 to 15 feet tall, about the same wide, so it does get kind of big. But you can always prune it. The cocoplum does well with pruning. So to keep it at whatever size that you want to have it at. But I personally don't recommend pruning plants, but if you don't want it to be that tall, you can do that. Now, in comparison with the other cocoplums, I made a video about the horizontal cocoplum, which looks very similar to the green cocoplum, but it stays smaller, about 5 feet tall. The green gets the height, 10-15 feet tall. It's about double the size. And the new growth is green, whereas the other cocoplum, the red tip cocoplum, which I used to grow but I don't grow it anymore, the new growth is red. So let me show you this one here. See, sometimes they crossbreed, so this one has a little bit of red in it. You see that? That's the difference between the red tip cocoplum, whereas you see the new growth here is completely green. That's the green tip. So now, there actually is a debate as to whether the red tip is really native. So if you want to make sure that you have a native cocoplum, go with the green cocoplum as opposed to the red tip cocoplum. There's no scientific debate as to whether the green cocoplum is native. The green cocoplum likes full sun, and it also likes to sit in water. Okay, it doesn't really do well in drought conditions. Therefore, you actually find this plant quite a lot in the Everglades. Okay, in wetlands it does well there too. The season for this plant, like for all of the cocoplums, is the warmer seasons of the year, the spring and the summer, especially the summer, okay? Because the cocoplums, they just love the sun, the heat, and the rain, so they grow fast during the summer months. So the cocoplum is used in the landscape as an accent shrub, buffer plantings, a hedge, mainly as a hedge, okay, as a privacy hedge, because you see how full it gets, so it gives you quite a bit of privacy on your property if you make a hedge out of this plant. So it produces a small white flower. This one's got some flowers. Well, the flowers are already turning into seeds. It looks like they've been pollinated already. And these here are the seeds, okay? As opposed to the red tip cocoplum, because this one's got some red in it. See, that fruit comes out to be purple. The green cocoplum, however, that fruit is completely white. That's another way you can tell the difference between the green cocoplum and the red tip cocoplum. So for both of the plants, the green or the red tip, people actually eat them. Oh, look, there's a bee pollinating. Oh, how nice. Okay, so actually people like to eat them, and some people make jellies out of the fruits, so they are edible. So the green cocoplum, in summary, if you are in South Florida, this plant will be beautiful and low cost for you. So it would be a great addition to your landscape. Actually, a lot of landscapers tell me that this cocoplum, the green one, is hardier than the red tip, which is another piece of evidence that the red tip might not be native. So if you want a cocoplum that's gonna get some height on it, go with this one. Don't go with the red tip, even though the red tip is more popular. The red tip is the most popular cocoplum of the 3 cocoplums. I would go with this one, with the green cocoplum. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.